He allows us to get 2 rooks on the 7th rank, rook d2, and then just completely missing that the a8 rook is hanging. Alright, so it's part 12 of the road to 1800, and the last game my opponent just didn't play after about move 15 or so, I can't remember. So we're going to play the next game now. So yeah, let's play e4. But for some reason I can't find the abort button. Maybe it's just hidden somewhere and I can't find it, but yeah, knight c6. I could just go for the Scotch Gambit, but Rio Lopez is also pretty nice. I've actually started playing that with bots. But let's just stick to our usual opening. And the flag is Micronesia. So I think that's a country in the Pacific. Probably doesn't live there. He just set his country there. Okay, knight f6. That's the best move. And I think I'm just going to castle. Yeah, knight g5 fails due to knight e5. So let's castle. If he takes the pawn, I'm going to play rook e1. And after d5, I'm actually going to take the d5 pawn. Queen takes. And then knight c3. And if pawn takes, the queen is hanging. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, taking is probably very risky. If I was black, I would not take. d5 is also an interesting move. d5 takes. Then we'll have rook check maybe. Bishop blocks. Okay, so the opponent does take the pawn. In that case, we'll play rook e1. And yeah, so just to double check. Takes, knight c3. If pawn takes, the queen is hanging. And if, yeah, the knight can't take. And if the queen moves, we'll take the knight. So we'll take the d5 pawn. And then knight c3. So the queen has to retreat. And then we'll take our piece back. I think that might be actually close to the Nachmanson gambit. In the Nachmanson gambit, you play knight c3 and then they can't take the knight. And there's a knight in the middle. So yeah, we could take with the rook as well. Bishop blocks. And then I'm not really too sure. If we take with the knight, bishop blocks. And then what? I guess we could play something like this. So yeah, let's take our piece back. Yep, bishop e7. Is knight g5 a good move? Knight g5, castles. Not really. Doesn't threaten that much. Even bishop g5, you can just castle. Yeah, I guess we do need to develop our bishop somewhere. Yeah, I think I'll play bishop g5 anyway, just to put pressure on this piece. If he takes, obviously we'll take with check. I think he will castle though and just ignore the bishop. Yep. The bishop is not hanging though, it's defended. I could take, and knight takes, and then maybe take on d4. That could be interesting. c3, he might push. Yeah, let's take the bishop though. And then if queen takes, we'll have some discoveries maybe. Or even just take this pawn. Okay, so he does take with the queen. And now I'm just thinking, just take back the pawn and then call it a day. Could also attack the queen. Let's say the queen goes here. And then we don't have anything after the queen moves is the problem. What about c3? Takes. And then take back with the knight. Maybe here. It's either taking. Yeah, you know what? I think I might just take. Yeah, let's take. Let's take back our pawn. And then if he takes our knight, we can put our queen in the center. And also we're threatening to damage the pawn structure. Okay, so he took the knight, we'll take back. Okay, so rook d8 is the idea. Attacking our queen. What about this check? Hold on, there might be some tactics here. I'm not too sure here. Check, queen takes. We take, and then we don't have back rank. Queen takes. Yeah, we don't have back rank mate. Is there any trap I can set up though? Obviously taking here is no good. Yeah, unfortunately I don't see anything. I think we might just go back to c3 with the queen. Yeah, and then maybe if he plays g6, we'll have this knight check. After bishop f5, then we'll have knight g3 maybe. Yeah, bishop f5, knight g3. The queen is attacked and the bishop is attacked. It could go here with the queen. Takes. That's actually interesting. Yeah, material is equal though. We have to somehow find a way to gain an advantage if the opponent doesn't make a mistake. Okay, b6. So the idea is to fianchetto the bishop over here. Is this check still relevant? Takes with the queen. Takes. No, we just lose a piece. What about rook d1? Let's say bishop g7. Yeah, then the rooks are connected. Yeah, and this fianchettoed bishop is going to become really strong, unfortunately. Rook d1, bishop g7, takes, check, takes, no. And even this discovery is not really doing anything. Oh, I should have gone to e3 with the queen, so that we have check with the knight. Oh wow, I actually missed that. So now if I go queen e3, bishop g7, check, takes, yeah, and there's no checkmate. If I play queen e3 right now, it's just gonna play bishop g7, check, takes, and there's never a mate. Queen g3, check, takes. I think we might have to go back to knight g3, and then queen g5, and then we'll attack the queen. Alright, let's play a move. There's no need to waste too much time. Yeah, actually, if queen g4, that does leave the pawn hanging. It's not so simple, actually. So where is this queen gonna go? f6, that just destroys the pawn structure. Queen g5, we take the pawn. Might play queen d7 though. Bishop e6. Okay, so now there's a pin. What about this? Attacking the queen. Let's say the queen goes here. Oh, we're also threatening some stuff over here. Wow, this is actually really interesting. Knight f5. What about this? Yeah, that does seem like a good move. Queen g5. We take. Yeah, if here the queen's just gonna move. I guess here queen g5. What do I play? Yeah, I almost instantly wanted to play knight f5, but then queen g5 is just such a good move. You know, we'll still play it just because we're attacking some stuff. So queen f8 is also a good move. So these are the only two moves, I think. Yeah, so queen g5. Sacrificing takes doesn't quite work out. And we can't take the pawn because we'll lose the knight. We might just go here, I think. Bishop can't go here because we'll take. And check doesn't do anything. This check is also not good. Yeah, I guess we'll move the knight, hitting the bishop. If bishop here, we take, then they take our knight. Well, I'm not scared of bishop h3 though. Bishop d5 is a move, and then we'll maybe have to play g3 because knight f3 is also possible. Takes, and then we'll take like this. But maybe the rook is going to invade our 7th rank. So after bishop d5, knight f3 takes. Yeah, so they do play bishop d5. What about this? This is also a good move. Trade. Do we have to play g3? I don't like g3. It's too weakening of a move. Okay, let's calculate. Knight f3 takes, or rook here. Oh, they can't invade our 7th rank because the rook on a8 is hanging. Wow, that is actually such an important detail that I missed. Yeah, and all of a sudden, that makes knight f3 a good move now. We could also play queen g3, takes, and then they'll move back the bishop. I think we'll play knight f3, hitting the queen again. That would be actually really interesting to see. After takes, rook d2, and then just completely missing that the a8 rook is hanging. I guess they could also just move back the queen one square. And then we might bring in the rook or invade the 7th rank. Okay, so the opponent's taking their time though. Okay, so they do take, and now maybe they think rook d2 is just a really good move now. Okay, queen d5 instead. So takes, will go here, and they do the same. I actually don't like trading queens because of rook d2. Actually, we then take the pawn on c7, and then the c2 pawn is defended. And rook e8 might be a move, and then we have king f1, and then the rook is still going to invade because the rook is still there, and then yeah, I'm not playing that. So instead, I'm thinking just queen e3 maybe. Yeah, and it's really hard to move anything else. Takes, here, here. I could also play rook e1, threatening checkmate. So they play g6, we take. Yeah, that's not so bad, you know, after this rook e1 inclusion. So yeah, let's take. And then invade the 7th rank. I guess there's also king f8 maybe, but then we'll take the pawn. Might play rook d8, threatening checkmate, but on that I think we'll just play rook e1. And if rook d1, okay, c5. I think I'm still going to go rook e1, threatening checkmate. So you'll have to play like g6. Oh, that is also interesting. Yeah, king f8 is also possible. If we go rook c7 maybe, he goes here, takes. Yeah, this rook coming to d2 is actually a huge problem. If I play g3, rook d2, what about c4? They just go here. Yeah, so we might have to play g3, here. Actually, hold on. Here, and we get mated. Yeah, so we'll play g3 so that we don't get back rank checkmated. And also time is getting a little bit low. If here we go takes, if they go here, we get here. And we have 2 rooks on the 7th rank first. Okay, rook d2. Yeah, on that I could just play this. Rook e2. If here, yeah, they're just going to take some pawns. Yeah, we'll play rook e2. If check, we'll just move the king. I think he's going to take though, and then bring the rook to d8. Yeah, it's going to get a little bit difficult to win this game, because there are basically no imbalances. Don't see any tactics either. Okay, so they gave a check. We'll just move the king. That is not a problem. And yeah, so he goes to hunting the pawns. We'll play a3 to guard the pawn, and then if he goes here, we have c3 or c4 actually. c3 just keeps the pawns together, and c4 stops b5. That might be a consideration. Yeah, I think I'll play c3 just to keep the pawns together. And if he moves his rook, this pawn will be hanging. And if he plays something like g6, we'll play rook d7, and then Bring the other rook. Okay. Let's attack this b6 pawn. Ooh, interesting. So he allows us to get 2 rooks on the 7th rank. And now these pawns are gone. Interesting. Okay, he takes the pawn. We'll take this with check. And if he goes that way, we'll take the other pawns with check. And if he goes here, we'll take the pawn threatening checkmate. And it's going to get really hard to get out of this situation. I don't think he knows that having 2 rooks on the 7th rank is just an auto win. So we'll take the pawn threatening checkmate. If he goes here, we'll take another pawn. He might even just blunder checkmate altogether. Okay, so he does go that way. Check here. Yeah, let's just take another pawn. And he goes here. Let's give a check. And he goes to the corner. Okay, and now what do we play? Check here. Check here. Okay, let's just give some checks. I guess we'll go here, try to take this pawn and threatening checkmate. And he blundered checkmate. There we go. Nice, and we're back to 1600. Yeah, 2 rooks on the 7th rank. Whenever I had 2 rooks on the 7th rank, I never lost. Like to this day, whenever I got 2 rooks on the 7th rank, I never lost a game. It was either a draw or a win. So yeah, that concludes our part 12. If you enjoyed and learned something from this game, consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.